I consumed exactly 1 minute of Pro Bowl coverage.
Ooh, which one? Was it good? Seems like not.
I will give you the minute that I consumed. The minute that I consumed was Geno Smith dropped back to pass and then decided to run, and I heard the voices that were talking about it, and I was trying to recognize them. And one of them was McAfee, and then it was Herb Street, and it didn't seem like anyone knew what the rules were. He had run, but he wasn't supposed to run. It was flag football, and all I noticed was, wow, I'm surprised that stadium is full of people for this. That football is so popular that stadium is full, and that no one knows what the actual rules are to the flag football.
Well, there was actually a controversial ending to the game because it seemed like the same situation was going on with the rules, where Peyton Manning seems to have been the only person that knew the actual rules of the game, and he did not like the final play of the game where a knee was taken, and he was running on the field to protest the outcome of the flag football game in the Pro Bowl games. He wasn't happy. I don't think that he won the argument.
But at the end, what we had Peyton Manning fighting for was legitimately and seriously the rules.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was pissed. You didn't see this? He was mad.
No,
He was running on the field, and he
loves rules, Dad.
He was screaming
fuming.
at the official, which I believe, if I heard right, is a Big Ten official. So I think they had college referees calling the game. I don't exactly know, but he was very mad at how it ended, and he was like yelling at Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins was saying they told me I was allowed to kneel, like very like, don't come after me, Peyton Manning, please. I'm sorry. I was just following what they told me I could do. And then Eli had like a Gatorade bath afterwards. It was a whole thing. It was very exciting. Pro Bowl games.
I believe the rules is that once you got inside the 5, you were not allowed to run the ball. Yeah. And so the NFC, there was a late 4th down where to try and ice the game. It went incomplete, but there was a flag, and so a penalty flag. And so then the NFC had the ball inside the 5, and Kirk Cousins went to take a knee to kneel out the clock. And Peyton Manning, the second Kirk Cousins' knee hit the ground, Peyton Manning runs out of the field and goes, "That's against the rules." And he's like yelling this. He was still mad about it like 15 minutes later. Like how seriously competitive he was about the AFC versus NFC flag football game, that he was fuming that like they violated the you can't run inside the 5 rule.
Do you guys think, because I was wondering this, do you guys think that Peyton is just super competitive and he really wanted to win the Pro Bowl, or do you think that it's because Eli beat him?
It's such a great question because Eli has always known the rules, and the rules win, and there's my big dumb-faced brother winning this goddamn game when he doesn't care about anything the way I care about it. It's why I'm the more successful brother, because I adhere to the rules. And Eli won because he was on the sidelines doing what? I read that he was hanging around with Pete Davidson, right?
Yeah. He beat Brady twice in the Super Bowl. I mean, not certain who won that battle, to be honest with you.
They were very serious about the whole thing. Like, they had designed plays. They were calling the plays. They were arguing about which play they wanted to
Billy,
run.
Imagine what it's like to be Peyton Manning's little brother. Like when you're 9.
Yeah.
It's probably been that for Eli Manning for his entire life, getting buried by being the second Manning.
Imagine what it's like to be Coop.
But
Imagine what it's like being Arch.
Oh, boy.
Eli seems to take it all in stride, though. Yeah. He seems to have like a really funny personality. He knows that he's just a different guy than Peyton Manning. And if anything, like Stugotz said, not because he beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl, though that certainly helps. Feels like Eli Manning won the war there. Yeah.
Oh, but
overall,
expectations, all of it. Yeah.
Lifestyle, like he sort of got
to
take it way less seriously and have about the same amount of success.
Yeah.
And have fun.
I saw that he was a top 10, I think, if I read this right, he's a top 10 quarterback in both receiving yards and touchdowns, which is like Eli Manning. Who knew? I kind of think maybe, and like this might be crazy, and you guys, I kind of, every time I try to say something that may be crazy now, I think about it and think, would you want this on a billboard? But I'll say this. Eli Manning, I wonder if he was the more talented Manning brother and realized he could just kind of coast by on like C's his whole life. You know what I mean? Like he naturally didn't have to try as hard, and he could be like the C student quarterback who has, decent success while not taking it so seriously, and he could just live like a more chill life and still have the success and the same number of Super Bowls as Peyton, and he didn't have to work as hard.
You chuck in a couple of A's, a couple of A+s when you play Tom Brady. You beat him twice, and then boom, better career.
That's when you need to flex. You flex when you need to, not all the time, because then what happens? You end up going to Germany and some weird thing happens with your neck, and then all of a sudden you can do everything again.
Peyton had the better career than Eli Manning, Well, they won as many Super Bowls, right? But what you're saying is a good point because Eli seemed to take it a little bit less stressfully. You guys have seen this on God Bless Football. You've seen a more relaxed Eli Manning, who you know today is texting his brother, "Hey, I beat you there at the end. You knew the rules, but you know he's He is burying his brother today, and Peyton is still enraged about knowing the rules, and it didn't help him."
And also, if the reverse happened and Peyton beat Eli, Eli is so nonplussed about everything that he's like, nah. You beat me in the Pro Bowl. Who cares? Whereas, like it's the difference between caring and not caring. When you care about something, it hurts when you lose it. Whereas Eli doesn't care about anything. Like he'll do a middle finger on live television. He's just sort of living life, having fun.
Billy might have this right as a life principle. You'd be a little worse, but a little happier, a little less uptight.
How do you think Peyton reacted when he found out Tyler Huntley was on his roster?
How many? I think Tyler Huntley had 2 passing touchdowns this year.
How did that happen?
He did.
They just ran out of options, clearly.
Sheesh.
Well, we talked last week about 3 Carolina Panthers quarterbacks had better stats.
3.
But the game is a marketing. It's just the NFL. Look, I don't know if you guys, like the way that I experienced yesterday is as a football day, sad.
Very sad.
Just
very sad.
A sad day. Oh, football's gone now. You're going to wait another week, and they're going to throw this slop out there just to because you need something because you're addicted.
I will say I do admire the NFL because the Pro Bowl in its previous format stunk, and it seemed like they had a Le Batard Show shipping container kind of pitch meeting where it's like, well, what can we do? All right, well, a wide receiver is going to jump on a trampoline and try and catch a one-handed pass behind his back.
That was awesome.
There's going to be, somebody pushing Eli Manning on a sled. There's going to be kick-tack-toe where long snapper is going to try and hit the bottom square.
A carnival of football.
Right. And honestly, I watched a decent chunk of it, and I had fun. I mostly enjoyed it. But I also went to both NHL All-Star events this weekend, and I would be totally fine if All-Star games just went away. They're not interesting. They're not fun. They're not fun to go to. Why are we doing this? I know it's like a big tentpole event for the NFL or big leagues to host all their corporate partners, and it's a money driver, and it's a tentpole event.
That's
for
you answered all your questions.
I know, but they're not entertaining. The NBA All-Star, I mean, I guess the Elam ending helped the NBA All-Star game, but most of this stuff, it's not a good product that they're putting out there. The NHL game, and particularly the skills contest, was boring. It's not fun to watch professional athletes that we know when they compete at their very highest level are amazing at what they do, kind of try half-heartedly most of the time. It's just not fun to watch.
It's more about the schmoozing, right? It's more about like fans going to Fan Fest, media people like hanging out with other media people. It's less about the actual events and more of just all the ancillary stuff around the events.
You're saying that as someone who celebrated vigorously the South Florida hockey weekend that Whittingham now laments as boring and uninteresting. You are now you are a zealot on behalf of hockey, a propagandist on behalf of hockey.
Well, the skills competition was terrible. He's right about that. I just mean the other stuff. Like I had fun.
But DJ Pauly D was fun.
DJ Pauly D was great. I had fun at Fan Fest. Like I think it's as much about all that other stuff as the actual game itself.
What was the Happy Gilmore thing? Like,
It was
is there
terrible.
just a skit portion?
I couldn't follow. Maybe on TV they explained it better. In the arena, a guy just emerged wearing a Gilmore jersey. I had no idea the concept of it. That's why in arena, it was an awful event. I mean, I don't want to. It was just really
Shout out
bad.
to
The
the
skills
Panthers.
competition, very slow. It was like watching the set. Imagine if you're watching a movie being shot. Let's do a scene and then let's stand around for an hour. Let's do a scene, stand around for an hour. Maybe it was better on TV, but in person, not great.
But you're a Panthers
Yes, I'm a hockey propagandist.
and you just
I can't tell you if it was better on TV, to be honest with you.
Why was some of it shot on the beach and some of it was shot in person?
Because they did stuff like, because they had so much dead time, I guess they pre-shot stuff, but it didn't make it that much quicker.
So you couldn't see that in the arena?
They were showing it up on the screen, just like we were watching like
the
you guys
fastest sport did not entertain you, and football is again evolving here, and they're turning it into trampolines. And watch Tyreek Hill get hit at the goal line in flag football, in the safest mutation of this, as Myles Garrett limps off. The football story that got my attention this weekend was the intervention being reported at CBS, where multiple executives have had to fly to the house of Tony Romo to, I read, work harder. It seems like Romo is caddyshagging his way through this gig.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, he's a quarterback. It's a side gig. He was great at it at the beginning, and now they're asking him to work, it seems like. And he's like, It was described as an intervention. And Romo wants to golf. These jobs have gotten so fat and lucrative that the quarterback for the Cowboys can go get it and not do it particularly hard. Hey, I got applause for a couple of years and now, but I thought he was doing fine. When did Romo deteriorate? Why is there an intervention? Is CBS protecting its product? Is Nance complaining? Like, what's happening here?
I mean, he's locked in for $17 million per season.
For how many years?
I think 4 more.
Why is it being as? It might be more than that.
No, I think it was a 10-year deal. They are married to him for a long time.
It's more than that, Stugotz. So explain to me why there's an intervention going on around Tony Romo. It has to be that he's not working hard enough, correct? But
That's what the report was. They weren't fans of his prep or lack thereof. They didn't think that he was taking it seriously enough.
Have you noticed it on the broadcast?
I'm kind of like Jess in that I only notice commentators really when there's a standalone playoff game, and I didn't think Tony Romo was bad the last game that I saw him, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not watching the main game. I just recently found out Greg Olsen is very good because I had the opportunity to watch Greg Olsen do a standalone game with no other games going up against it.
But also when that was happening, if you're watching football or sports the way a lot of people are, in multiple devices, you're seeing a great deal of praise for Greg Olsen. Unusual. You've heard Jimmy Kimmel make fun of the fact that football broadcasting decisions were being made because somebody was reacting to what Rudy Martzke was writing in USA Today. Some media
What a name.
One person before social media was dictating. There was criticism, and executives, nobody was born dreaming of being a television executive. Like, television executives don't actually have anything figured out. They like to pretend they do. But they're moved by, social media is blowing this way. And Greg Olsen was getting a great deal of praise, which I'm not used to. And it was Tony Romo's praise.
Right.
Because Tony Romo got it before Greg Olsen did. But I didn't see Tony Romo criticism. Where was the Tony Romo criticism that they were reacting to? Because they were very much reacting to some things being said in some circles in social media.
He signed in 2020. It could be a 5-year deal. It could go as long as 10. It's $17 million per. And I'm certain CBS is just saying to themselves, hey, we're paying you $17 million per season to call a football game a week. Can you take it seriously? But they're armed with more information than we are, whether it's coming from the staff, whether it's coming from Jim Nance, as to just how much work he's putting into this thing. I can tell you as someone who likes Tony Romo that I haven't noticed much of a difference. Like, he gives me what I want,
I haven't.
He'll occasionally tell me a play. He'll get excited at the right times. I mean, that's...
I don't know, Jim.
Right.
He does that. He seems to know
Jim.
that's his signature thing now, so I think he's leaning on that a little bit more. But the first time that I had ever considered that the Tony Romo thing wasn't this spectacular success was when his friend Dick Ebersol came out with a criticism that he immediately walked back. And all this stuff that's being reported
But
out.
that's where it started.
Yeah, but all that stuff that's being reported right now seems very it's actually kind of dirty when you look at it, because it seems like a lot of dirty laundry is being aired. A lot of inside people that know about Tony Romo's process are the ones doing the complaining. And for me, as someone that experiences him occasionally on a standalone game, I haven't noticed.
If I were Tony Romo, I'd be like, guys, you got me at a bargain. You see what Brady's making? You get what you get and you don't get upset. Like, this is what you're getting. You want me to work harder? Pay me double, because that's what Brady's getting, and then I'll work twice as hard. This is the new price. Until then, you're going to get half the effort.
It would be great if not being afraid of coaching or repercussions. It's a couple of guys in suits coming to my house. I got a deal. I got a deal for 5 years.
Act like you care, like, the intervention, okay, I'm good, I get it, I got it, right? And then go hit the course.
They have so much control of Tony Romo that they flew to him.
Right. Yeah, way to send him the message of working harder. We'll come to you.
It's so true what Billy is saying. These are, no matter how powerful they are as TV executives, there are a couple of guys flying into Dallas to meet the former quarterback of the Cowboys. Yeah, come on in, guys. You guys are paying me $17 million a year. Like,
I already made 130.
Come on in. I got to get to the golf course in 45 minutes. What do you need? We'd like you to work harder. Yeah, not so interested in that.
I don't know, John.
How about I just keep being Tony Romo? That should be enough, right? You're paying me $17 million because I'm Tony Romo, former Cowboys quarterback. What are you going to do about it? I'll just hang out with Jim, and I will slowly deteriorate on air, not caring at all. It's $17 million a year because what do I have to care about? This is a side gig. Look how much you're paying me. More than I ever made in my playing career. I fractured my back. I was the quarterback of the Cowboys.
I think he's doing fine. Like, I haven't listened and been like, this guy's terrible. They need to replace him. He's fine.
I think, Dan, the CBS is reacting to the same pressures that you said Jimmy Kimmel made fun of for a while. There is in the sports media reportage sphere a lot of criticism of Tony Romo, a lot of people like critics are saying it's not as good as it used to be. I honestly think it's reacting to the New York Post sports media column. I still think it's the same thing as 20 years ago. I still think that media networks are a bit sensitive to that.
God, that's so dumb.
And they're reacting
But it's
to
Greg
it.
Olsen getting credit, right? That that has to factor in.
This reported
Collinsworth is getting a lot of credit as being great at this. That has to factor in.
This
right?
reported intervention happened last summer before Greg Olsen took over as the number one and got all this praise. So,
Okay.
I mean, I think, and also they could, as Mike said, have made an internal evaluation and gone, well, this isn't what it used to be. I don't know, but I do think that it's a lot of the similar. You sort of draft on buzz when it's good, and they seem to overly sink into the criticism as well.
So hire Greg Olsen and demote him to number 2 and pay him $17 million a year to be your number 2. They're not going to do it. So what are they going to do about it?
This goes actually against some reporting that I did on Tony Romo a few weeks back. I was actually told by somebody that when the Dolphins and Bills played during the playoffs.
Is this reckless speculation?
No,
Are you reporting
this is legit. I mean,
Well, are
I
you
don't really
trying-
know how reporting works, but I think.
Okay, well let's see what kind of insider
Well,
you
who
are.
told you?
Wait a minute.
That's right. I shouldn't say. I think what I've learned, I shouldn't say that part.
Okay.
Well,
Billy,
that's the
just
only part that
Tell
I don't
us
know.
who told you,
Billy,
and then we'll say if
Billy,
it's reporting
no,
or if
don't-
it's like
don't-
if you talk to someone in the parking lot at Buffalo that was covered in ketchup, not reporting.
Billy,
No, it's a
thank
legit
you.
source.
All of
I know
you-
how. I think I know how sources.
I don't think you do, and I
Write it down on a piece of paper, and we'll pass it around. And
No,
tell you
Billy,
if it's like
please,
legit.
Billy.
I'm trying to help him.
You're
He says
not
he doesn't.
trying to help,
he
Billy.
says he doesn't know how this works,
Billy,
so I'm trying to
you're
help
not
him.
trying. You are actively not
My
trying.
barber thinks I'm a cop.
You're trying to get him into trouble. He might be on the precipice of both breaking news and trying to be an insider, but we have to do this correctly. Chris Cote, do you get the reckless speculation sounder, or are you reporting this as a credible news source?
Reporting
this is
it.
you being a reporter for the first time.
All right.
But you reported this a couple
I have
weeks
not
ago.
reported this before, but it applies to this conversation.
Okay.
Something that
Okay.
I just know.
We will
All
get
right.
to the news. Well, this is what Billy
Exciting.
is, this is what's happening, okay? Because Billy
first report,
is
Dan.
number 5 insider international Dookie Bombs. He's getting a lot of credit as a national football source. He's trying to undermine you
Malarkey.
here. As you try to infringe on his space
Hogwash.
with insider information. He has never broken a story around here.
I mean, that's not true.
You might be number 1 as an insider internationally, according to The Guardian, if you had broken a football story. But Chris Cote, you're telling us you have a source and you believe this to be a credible source.
Oh, you should double source things in journalism, but
That's
we'll
true.
get to that
What if
another
your
day.
source is really good?
Wait,
What if you have
Billy,
one source, but they're really
That's
good?
what I'm saying.
Right.
Who is it? And then we can.
Billy broke
It's not how this
the
you're trying to trick me.
Billy, you broke the what's in Dable suitcase story, so you got.
Oh yeah, I
Dan.
forgot about
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Sometimes you just forget your accomplishments. You know.
Jay Glazer double and triple checks his sources. You don't have a second source. You just have one you really believe in. And you're reporting
I
what?
asked him twice though.
Like Santa.
So it's a guy.
Good job.
Okay, you shouldn't reveal.
No, don't. say
Okay,
that.
you got to protect your source. You got to be willing to go to jail to protect
Ask
your
the
sources.
source.
Don't go to jail over this. That's
Well,
stupid.
why are you asking him to reveal his
Can I just
sources
say it?
publicly? Yes.
Okay. The Dolphins and the Bills, when they played in the playoffs, that was the first time Romo and Nance had gotten the Dolphins all year. And the Dolphins had to like wrap Romo up in the pre-interviews because he was just talking to them so much. So that goes against him being lazy. Like he was doing extra work and needed to be like, hey, we got to get a lot of guys through here. We need to tighten these up a little bit. So I don't know. That doesn't seem like a guy that's cutting corners.
right.
Because he knows he's got a standalone game now. And he's got to
Well,
prepare for that one.
it's because he hadn't covered the Dolphins all year, so he was trying. I need to learn a lot about them. So that's just one fact that goes against him mailing it in.
Could also be just chatty, though.
That's true.
Could just be somebody who likes talking to football
We've
players.
seen him at Tahoe. He is not chatty at all. I mean, let's say a
Wow,
word.
you're reporting that?
I'm reporting what
You're
I've seen, and what
reporting
I've seen is him
Wow.
talk to nobody.
He puts out a
yeah,
vibe.
yeah.
Really? You guys think that he's not this affable person?
There are more affable folks.
Are you guys both? Wait a
A
minute.
third report.
I got to be
We've all
honest.
seen it.
These
We've
are
all
you saw
seen
how
it.
friendly. You
We've all
saw how
seen it.
friendly we were with Justin Timberlake.
Right.
So,
Billy,
JT. Yeah.
Billy, the
Good
report.
luck, Pa.
Truth be told, the Chris Cody report very disappointing. I like better.
Did I just report something?
The Stugotz and Mike Ryan report of Tony Romo is kind of standoffish.
he just there are people that like to socialize, and he's got a vibe. He's very intense.
They're putting
about his
it nicely.
process.
Dick Ebersol.
Are you willing to report that that Tony Romo is an asshole? Are you
No,
willing to go?
no.
No, he takes
Whoa.
it very, very seriously.
to
I don't know
folks?
Tony well enough to call him an asshole.
No,
okay?
no, guys, we're going
Yeah.
to Tahoe too. No one said that. Dan, stop putting people in that spot. No, it's just
He takes it seriously.
it's
he
more of a
isolates himself.
Yeah, he isolates himself. It's kind of like a
Game face.
Yeah, he's got his game face on. He takes it. He's more intense about it. It's more of a business trip for him when he's not one of the guys.
He's one of the 5 guys who knows he has a chance to win that thing every single
Right,
year.
but-
And he takes it very, very
Right, but
seriously.
the other 4
Mark
guys-
Mulder is the same way.
Well, there's also levels to the celebrity there. Like the Steph Currys, the Ray Romano. Like these people get like bombarded by people. Like where there's like the guy from The Office. Some people are just happy to talk to you. Whereas some guys like are A-listers.
But Steph and Mahomes and Kelsey, like and Justin Timberlake, they're super affable. They know they're very happy to take part in it. And Stugotz and myself, like we belong. Like we're there and we're rubbing shoulders and stuff. And Tony Romo just does his own thing. It's okay. Different approaches.
Right.
Kevin from The Office just caught a stray. I don't know why. I did
Yeah,
that.
that didn't
why
seem
did you do
necessary.
that? Why did you do that?
But I think that's the problem at CBS is he's taking that thing way more seriously than he is their games.
Well, if he's that good at golf, he's got to be playing, correct?
Yes.
Oh, a ton.
Yes, a ton,
Yeah.
Dan. Like, he's really good.
Yeah.
Well, can you?
Although we've learned with
Sugat.
Sugotz's game, that doesn't necessarily
You would
mean-
think I'd be better than Romo. I mean,
You're good.
But I'm asking the question seriously. If we're talking about Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, and Peyton still being competitive, like you don't put that away. Being that competitive that you're willing to like risk spinal injuries to play, and I'm
It's
guessing
why I think Witty made the point on the Big Suey last week. Tom Brady is just the most competitive. That it's probably why he might make a good broadcaster. It's the only reason
well, you
why
got to
you see
take
a
it
path
seriously. Dwayne Wade was working very hard at being good at it, and then he's like, okay, I want money, real money. I want to be in ownership. I want real power, but he was trying to get good at it because what am I going to do for the next 30 years? But what Romo's going to do for the next 30 years, back willing, is golf. Like what if we ask Tony, we're going to take one of these away from you.
oh, he's leaving broadcasting tomorrow.
Yeah, he loves golf.
He's leaving tomorrow.
But think
Not
about
tomorrow. He'll leave in 4 years after he gets $17 million a year for the remainder of his contract.
Stugotz. He doesn't have to choose because he's only got to work like 17 or 20 weekends.
Yeah,
a
why
year.
does he have to
True.
choose? He's doing both right now. He
I
doesn't
know,
need
but
to.
one of them, his bosses don't think he's doing hard enough.
And then they fly to his house and he's like, thanks for your visit. I'm going to go golf now. See you when the season starts again. You guys should make a top 5 list of the rudest celebrities at Tahoe.
I don't know if I want to.
No, we should not.
Are we
I mean,
going?
I love
There's a-
that event so much.
There's a code when you walk in the room on the day before where you walk in and they explain all the rules and Justin Timberlake's cracking jokes in the back of the room that when you walk in that room, you're not supposed to divulge
Right.
First
what
rule of
goes on.
Tahoe
Well, you
is you
just
don't
did.
talk about Tahoe.
But you guys
Yeah.
are doing it with
Yeah.
the nice people.
We're just talking about Romo. That's it.
everyone's
Everyone
nice.
knows. Everyone's on the same
Not
page.
everyone.
there.
I don't know
Yeah.
Tony Romo to not be nice because I don't know Tony Romo at all.
Exactly.
I never see
Right.
him at any of the things. So
Was
it's
the
just,
Haven't
Miz
said a
nice?
word to him.
Miz
right.
was super nice. My
Yeah.
God.
Miz was great.
Yeah.
I believe Lewis said that Travis Kelsey smelt really well.
Yeah.
He also
Kelsey,
walks
very nice
around
guy.
telling us that it's not Travis Kelsey. That Travis Kelsey says it's pronounced Travis Kels. And that, because I was like, he kept calling him Travis Kels. I'm like, I don't think that's his name. And he's like, no, he told me in person that it's Kels, but that everyone says Kelsey, and that he just decided we're too far down this path, so I'll just go by Kelsey. Which I guess him and Jason got together and like we're both gonna lie to everyone about our names.
I'm not laughing.
Or Lewis has just made that up.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Chris Cote again and again in the back, either talking to, I guess, Tony. Is it smell good or smell well? Because
Smells good.
It smells good.
Smells good.
Usually, well's the better word.
I think it's well. It's good if the smell has to do with charity. It's
Stupid
well
language.
if it has to do
Rhymes
with
too.
yeah.
Why are you going to Tony on this
Do
one?
good, do well.
I
It's
think
charity
that's the
related.
part.
Chris Cote.
Tony caught a stray now.
I just want to be clear, though. I want to be clear on what happened there. Did you just get sucked into La Esquina de Chusmeria, where they explained to you that the best thing for you to do is you'll sound smarter, if you say smell well instead of smell good, because well will fancy up your grammar.
I would have told him that he smells empingao. That's what I would have told him.
I just want to speak good.
What if the top 5 list is in no particular order? It's just
I'm not
5
doing
names.
it.
Not doing
I
that.
don't want to do
I-
it.
Why?
Everyone there makes us feel very welcome. We just haven't gotten to know
Okay,
Tony.
this is the problem. What's happening?
We would
with
like
Billy?
to.
No, Billy's acting out. We've got a problem on our hands. Is Billy? Billy
How
is.
so?
I'll tell you so. Thank you for asking.
I'm just trying to move the show along. Dan.
Well,
I'm here to help you out.
No, not
you know?
exactly. This is what you've said since you came in here today. You said business trip. I'm getting ready to go on this business trip that I don't want to go
That's
on
true.
because I'm going to have to be wrangling Stugotz for all week. And you're now lashing out in every direction. And you're here one day this week, and you're flying out tonight. Are you on Stugotz's flight? Are you guys flying together?
We are not.
Dangerous game.
He hasn't booked his flight yet.
That,
He'll get around to it.
I'm
that's-
getting to it.
That's
Oof.
yeah.
Woof.
I
That's-
booked my own flight. What do you mean?
Well,
I'm good.
PJ?
Perhaps.
Perhaps he'll fly into San Francisco and drive the rest of the way.
Listen, don't worry
Never
about
know.
it. Tomorrow morning, I will be there. I'll be dominating Radio Row.
that's what I'm
That's
sort
it.
of worried about.
Yeah, I'll
Because
be there.
I got a report at what time your flight was leaving.
Yep.
And then you told me that you were arriving there at the time that I heard your flight was leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Within
Right.
30 minutes of hearing the other news. So
Little
I
mystery.
don't. I
Just
don't
worry
really
about
know.
tomorrow morning and whether or not I'll be there.
I'm
All right?
to be
You know
no.
that they're
I,
on there's a time difference.
I
just so you know.
believe
2 hours.
I believe that you'll be
Got
there.
it. I'm on my game, Mike. I'm ready.
Stu's flying
Focused.
to Seattle and driving.
I believe
Thought
that,
about it.
That is another. I believe that you'll be there. I just want you to be in a good mood when you're there. And
will be.
The information I was getting was leading
Billy.
me to think you might not be.
Radio
Billy.
Row, how can you not be on
I'll
a
be
good
20 yards away from Christopher Mad Dog Russo, okay? I'll be 30 yards away perhaps from Jim Rome, legend of the game, and of course, I'll be rubbing elbows with Gil Brandt. I mean, I'll be in a great mood, and Gil Brandt has been there for a month already. I mean,
Why is he in a bad mood? Why would he be in a bad mood?
Well, because if I started doing the math and was like, I think you're getting in at 2 a.m. Like, you're not going to want to get up and go to Radio Row at like 8 a.m. If you're arriving at 2, you get to the hotel at 3. Like, we were just kind of like getting to Grumpy Pants area.
2 a.m. would be 5 a.m. our time.
when it's showtime, Billy, listen, you can count on me to be at the Houston Convention Center, all right? H-Town. How about that?
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, no. How much is this Super Bowl coverage costing, and Stugotz is going to the wrong city?
Rooms are real cheap in Houston.
Plenty of rooms in Houston. I mean, I don't know what Hildy, like making me all stressed out. Oh, the rooms, the hotel rooms, need to book a room. Listen, I went on the internet yesterday and I found a presidential suite in Houston. How about that? H-Town. What a Super Bowl. What's the matter?
Well, I'm just worried.
The big one.
We all have Stugotz travel PTSD. Every single one of us. And it's like the flight always gets booked at the last available
I hate
opportunity.
this thing.
I
You're-
don't know how you live, Stugotz. It just seems so stressful.
Mm-hmm. Big house on a golf course.
Drank liberally from the festive party that is South Florida. Whittingham and Chris Cote separately, individually, went clubbing. Chris Cote went clubbing with Roy. The result, I don't know what happened in the clubbing with Roy. The result, predictably, with Whittingham, I don't know what these people in the audience would guess would happen with Chris Whittingham in the club, but the answer is sleep. The answer is Whittingham fell asleep in the club.
Can confirm. Yeah. Now, oddly enough, Chris Cote and I went to the same nightclub, but on different nights. So he was there on the Friday
I was still
night,
there, actually.
hanging out with DJ Pauly D, Sarah Sivian, Roy, and David Dwork, which is honestly the start of a joke of who goes into a bar
What
or
a crew.
Mad Libs.
I
It
mean,
just
oh,
seems
jeez.
like an impossible collection of people. And then I went the next night, just sort of like separate. It was sort of part of a bachelor party weekend. And it was a long day for me, Dan. It started at 7 a.m. at the golf course.
Day
It ended-
drinking?
And day drinking, like 14 hours of drinking. And it ended with me asleep on a couch at DAER Nightclub inside the Hard Rock because I just completely petered out and crashed.
That is a privileged spot by Witty, though. You must have had a table or something. You guys
Yeah.
were in.
Yeah.
Generally, as I've heard, falling asleep in a club can get you kicked out real quick.
Yeah.
So if you must be in like a VIP spot if you have a security guard saying, "Hello, sir, would you like to wake up and keep enjoying your night?"
I wasn't asleep long enough, I don't think. I was sort of in and out several times for about a period of 20 minutes.
Usually, it's like, "All right, buddy, you gotta go."
Yeah. I honestly, I should have been. I should have been.
Should be a napping area in clubs.
I don't like the fact that clubs and bars have different rules for different people. I don't like it. Some people can stand dance on tables, other people can't. I don't like it.
You never experience the caste system more than in a nightclub. It's incredible. I've experienced it a little bit because I've been on 2 bachelor party weekends in the last month. It's wild to watch like the people on the outside like trying to work their way in towards like table and then closer table to the middle, then closer table to DJ. It's just people trying to elbow each other for status. It's wild.
What's going on with you? Because as I remember, like a month ago, you told us you had never been to a proper nightclub.
Yeah.
And now it's like you're addicted to it. Like
Every-
you're
it's-
just
it's an
every
every
couple
weekend
weekends,
occurrence. Yeah.
you're going to party
Yeah, I'm
towns
a
and you're out
guy
at the
now.
club.
You'll find me at Space next weekend.
What's happening?
Bachelor parties.
Bachelor parties?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now,
And-
He's on that
Witty,
circuit.
is
Yeah.
there a detail we're allowed to share about your bachelor party? Like, it's not your bachelor party. The bachelor party you took part in. Are we allowed to share a detail in
Well,
that I
now
know?
we're here. Now we're here.
Were you
No,
there?
no, it's not been shared. I mean,
No. There was a professional athlete that was part of our group.
Really?
Yeah, I played on a golf team with said professional athlete. It turns out professional athletes are quite good at sports.
Stugotz is gonna like this.
Wait, what?
Am I?
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry for doing this, Witty. If
Yeah,
you don't
no,
want to
no,
reveal it,
Are
I
you
did.
gonna
spill the
That's
beans?
why I
It's
asked.
It's not.
he would have said the name instead of professional
Was
athlete.
it a bad athlete?
No,
Michael Jordan.
not that good.
Do you want
It was
to?
Jordan Day.
You don't want to give us any hints, correct?
No, I know.
Chris
I'm
Cote.
not at liberty to reveal this.
Okay, well, at least it didn't bring the show to a grinding halt. Chris
Stugotz
Cote.
is going to be really jealous.
All right, you can tell him
if anyone ever
privately.
tells me, I mean,
Chris Cote, your weekend partying with Roy ended up where and how?
So after the skills competition, I believe. Yes, after the skills competition.
Wait, hold on. You told me the name and you said he was a good athlete.
I said he's a professional athlete. I said
that makes you a good athlete. I mean,
Yeah.
technically.
You're questioning how good an athlete it
Billy's
is,
just
Billy?
out here putting everybody in a bad spot.
If I tell you who it is,
what are
He
we
doesn't- he
doing?
doesn't give a shit
He's
about our
lashing
billboards.
out. He's lashing out.
well, I think I'm going to the wedding of this bachelor party, so I may see this person. Then it's not going to go well for me.
But you are. Oh my God!
We can bleep it.
What?
We should leave it in just for his reaction.
Oh my God!
But Dan, would you say good athlete?
Yes, he would be.